Hi all, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will solve LeetCode problem palindrome number. First, let's understand what the question is telling. Given an integer x, return true if x is a palindrome, false otherwise. Okay. Now, first we have to understand what the question is telling. Let's see the input and understand what we have to do. First input is 1 to 1. If we read it backwise reversing also, it is going to be 1 to 1, so it is a palindrome number. The number will not, we have to understand some test cases, like the number, like just think about it. 1 to 1, when I reverse it, it is going to be same 1 to 1, so we are telling it is a palindrome, right? Let's take another example, 1 to 3. When we reverse it, we are getting 3 to 1, which is not a palindrome. Now, let's just think, if we take 100, will it going to be a palindrome? No, any number which is ending with the 0 is not going to be a palindrome. So, we can write our test case at first itself, like x percentage 10 equal to 0 is going to be a, is going to not be a palindrome. Okay, now we understood one test case, and then we have to think about the negative numbers. Like if the number is going to be minus 1 to 1, is it going to be a palindrome? No, because when we reverse it, we are going to get 1 to 1 minus, right? So this will not be the same as 1 to 1. So we can say it is not a palindrome. Now we got two test cases. And one more thing. Just think, 0 is a palindrome or not. If you reverse 0 also, you are going to get the same value. So you can say 0 is a palindrome, right? Now let's get into the question and solve. Okay. Let's first write the brute force approach, and I will explain you why this approach is a brute force approach. Okay, we understood when we reverse the number, if we get the same value, it is a palindrome. We can convert this integer to string, and by using inbuilt methods, we can reverse the string and we can compare it easily. This is the brute force approach. We are going to solve the question at first, and I'm telling you why this is a brute force approach, because first we are going to convert the integer to string, which is taking a new extra space. This is because why we are telling this as a brute force approach, and also to get this value, to check if, whether it is a palindrome or not, we are going to reverse the whole string after converting it, which is going, the time complexity is going to be big O of n, and the space complexity is going to be big O of n, 1, right? So this is a space complexity is going to be big O of 1. Okay, let's write the code here. At first, I am converting the integer to string. To convert an integer to string, I have created a variable original, which is a string, and then I have used string dot value of x. This will convert integer value to string. Once we converted an integer value to string, as we all know, string is an immutable, so we cannot make changes in the string, so we are converting string to string builder. After that, We are reversing it with the string builders inbuilt methods, and then we are converting it back to string to compare both the original and reversed string. Once I get the reversed string value, I am comparing both the values whether it is equal or not. If it is equal, it is going to return true. If it is not, it is going to return false. Let's run the code and check whether it works or not. Hmm. No, the code worked. Now we got all the test cases are accepted. As I already told you, this is an brute force approach. We are going to work on the optimal approach. Okay. For optimal approach itself, we have two optimal approaches where we can either reverse the whole integer and compare it with the original integer, or we can just reverse the first half of the integer and we can compare it with the second half. I'll first explain the by reversing the whole integer, so you will get some idea. With that, we can go to the next optimal approach. Okay, I'll take the string 4554. Okay, when you reverse this, you are going to get the same 4554. Okay, now when I give 4554 percentage 10, this is going to give me the last integer, because percentage will give the reminders. When we do the division operation, we will get the reminders, right? That's how we will get the remainder by doing the percentage operation. If we give 100 here, we will get the output as 54. Okay, like that we are getting the reminders, and we are going to store it. Okay, I have got the last number. Like the after getting the last number, we have to convert 4554 to 455, because we already took the last number, right? Now we have to reduce the number one by one and get the remainder and store it in a variable. Okay, now when I give by 10, it will give me 455. Okay, now we have to take 455 percentage 10. This will give us 5. After that, 455 divided by 10. This will give 45. Once again, 445 percentage 10. This will give 5. 45 by 10. This is going to give us 4. And 4 percentage 10 is going to give us 4. And then there is going to be nothing, right? 4 divided by 10 is going to be 0. Now once we end with a 0, the loop is going to break. Now as you can see, 4 5 5 4, right? Now what we have to do is, in each loop we have to store this number. For that, what we can do, we can just give num equal to 0, create one variable, and we can store these values in that variable. To store this number in this variable, what we can do is, we are dividing the number by 10, right? We can do the same by multiplying the with the 10, and we can add the numbers. In this way, we will get the original value. I'll show you how. Okay, num equal to num into 10 plus num percentage 10. I am dividing the number by 10, right? But the 10 I am multiplying here. Okay, at first the number is 0, right? 0 plus this 4 is going to be what? 4, right? After that, what I'm going to do? Now I have 4 into 10 plus 5 going to be what? 45. Now I hope you're understanding. If you have any doubts, please comment. After 45 into 10 plus 5 is going to be what? 455. 450 plus 5 is going to be 455, right? 455 plus into 10 plus 4 going to give us 4554. Now we reverse the integer and we stored it in a variable num. What we got? 4554, and our original integer is 4554. Now we can say 4554 is an palindrome, right? You understood, right? Now let's go write the test case. Test Write the code. And earlier I have told you two test cases, which is negative number is not a palindrome and the number ends with 0 is not a palindrome, but 0 is a palindrome. Okay, now let's write the code for this. Here, I have the code already written. Mm. If x less than 0, which is negative number, is going to be not a palindrome, right? Or what I said, if the number ends with 0, for that what we can say, I already told you, right? Num percentage 10 will give us the last number, just the remainder of dividing the number by 10. Okay, this is going to be, if x percentage 10 is going to give us 0, we have to return false. Or if x should not be equal to 0, because why we are giving this x% not equal to 0? What if the variable x itself is a 0? We saw earlier the 0 is a palindrome, right? We have to check, like if we are getting the remainder as 0, we have to check whether x itself is a 0. Okay, in that case we can return false. And here we stored the variable value of x to the variable val, and then I am doing the operation which we mentioned earlier. Num equal to num into 10 plus value percentage 10. Value is having 1 to 1, right? 1 to 1. Here what will do? What this will do? Value percentage 10, 1 to 1. Percentage 10 is going to give 1. And what we are going to do? 0 into 10 plus 1 is going to give us 1, right? And then we are going to again 1 to 1 divided by 10 is going to give us 1 2. It is going to be in a loop until it reaches 0. After that we can compare the number with the original value. If it is equal, then we get true. If it is not, then we will get the value false. Now let's run the code and check. Mm. As you can see, this approach is working, right? But we can optimize this code this code also we can optimize as you. I will give you one example, and let's take two inputs, one even number and one odd number. Okay, now as you can see, if you reverse these both numbers, you are going to get the same values, right? To and check whether this value is a palindrome or not, we just have to return the half of the numbers. By reversing the half of the number itself, we can understand whether it's a palindrome or not. I'll show you now. uh, 4 numbers divided by 2 is going to be 2, right? 3 numbers divided by 2 is going to be 1. Hmm. Because if the number is an odd number, you don't have to mind the number in between, right? Because the number at the rear and end is going to make sense. I'll show you the 5 numbers. Okay, 122, 12221. When you reverse this, you are going to get the same 12221. In this case, what you needed first two and last two, right? The because whatever number you are going to have in the between, it is going to be the same. So we don't have to check this in between odd number. Now I'll show you why we are just reversing the first half and checking it with. Now I have 12221, right? 5 divided by 2 is going to be 2. Mm. Now I am reversing 1 2 2 2 1. Okay, first half is 1 2, I reversed it and I got 21. Now you can see the last two numbers, right? It is also 2 1. The center number is going to be the same, right? Now 21 21 both are same. Now if I reverse this, now you can see that the values are, after reversing, they are same. We just what we have to do, we just run our loop to the first half. So in this case, our time complexity is reducing from big O of n to big O of log n. Big O of log n. Big O of log n is smaller than big O of n, right? In this case, it will be an optimized approach. This is what we have to work on when we get when we get this kind of questions in interview. Because solving a palindrome question is not an issue, we have to solve it in an optimized way, which the interviewers will look for. Okay, now we will write the code for optimized approach. First, we have to store the x value in a variable, and then we have to check if x less than 0 or x percentage 10 equal to 0, and x itself is not an 0. In this case, we have to return false, right? Because negative number is not a palindrome and the number ends with 0 is not a palindrome. Now what we have to do? We have to reverse the number to the half. To 0. Creating the variable, and I'm going to use the while loop. X has to be greater than, when x is greater than the reversed half, we will stop the loop. Okay. Now what I'm doing, reverse half equal to reverse half into 10 plus x percentage 10. Okay, and then x divided by equal to 10. Okay, now we have to check return x equal to reverse of or x equal to by 10. Now let's check the code. As you can see, right, for negative number it returned false. For 10 it is a false because the number ends with 0 will never be a palindrome. And the number you can see, right, we have the even number. For this we just have to reverse the first half and then we have to compare if both are same. If both are same we can understand it is a palindrome number. This is the odd number. You can see if we just have to uh, now you might have the doubt why we are doing this by 10, right? This x equal to reverse of is for even number, x equal to reverse of by 10 is for odd number, because as you can see when you reverse the number, even number, like both the number 45 is going to be 54 and here you will have 54, so when you compare it it will be same, right? When you divide the when you reverse the odd number you will get 112 in the reverse of, and x you will have 1, right? As I said earlier, the in between number is not, is doesn't going to be. We don't have to check the in between number. All we have to check is the first number and last number. So when we divide the reverse of by 10, we will just get 1, right? Then we will have 1 in x. Then if both are same, we will get true. That is what happening here. Okay. If this explanation helped you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will be uploading more LeetCode DSA and Spring Boot tutorials regularly. Thank you for watching. Thank you all.